inspired you to write this book?
What inspired me to write this book?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, it started in 2013 that in hindsight, I totally ignored alerts that I got on Facebook about chemtrails. I totally ignored them because I thought that it's too far-fetched, that it's ridiculous. I mean, I didn't even give it a thought. But then, after a couple of months, I realized that it's true because I noticed something in my reality. And then I started to take a lot of photos, and after a while I contacted someone who had a website of alternative news, and I told him, look, I found something about this topic, and look, I'm sending you some photos. And he told me, Shoshi, I saw the photos. We don't have anything like this here. He's Israeli too. And I don't believe it. And I don't think anyone will believe you. And I asked him, well, what will make you believe it, that it's true? And he said, find evidence, a lot of evidence, hard evidence. And then I started to investigate it, and I was flooded by evidence, patents and whistleblowers, and it was so shocking and devastating that it was hard to ignore it. And I started writing about these topics that no one wrote about them here in Israel. I tried. I looked for information and about smart meters that started to be deployed here, about vaccinations, about fluoridation, and I started to connect the dots. And then in 2014, there was something else, something positive came up with an individual that I don't know who he is. His alias is Cobra from the resistance movement, and Cobra is it's not a name. It's made of two of a phrase: compression breakthrough. What will happen at the moment of a shift, of a positive shift, supposedly positive shift on Earth that is described like a solar flash that will shift consciousness instantaneously, human consciousness. It sounded really like science fiction, but I liked good science fiction. I mean, at least it was positive. After hearing about the dark agenda so much. And so I started to investigate with people all over the world, and we still communicate with each other, and we share intel worldwide. We are a group from all over the world, and it feels that the awakening is growing by the day in increasing numbers worldwide. This is part of the positive shift, because the shift is in consciousness. Human consciousness, goes up, rises. And then in 2017, I decided, I had a feeling actually, it wasn't deciding, it was like, I had to do this. I had to write this book because I saw so much hopelessness among my family members and family, friends, neighbors, you name it. Even activists like myself in Israel were so depressed because most of the awakened people, they see the negative agenda. They don't know that right now, even what appears to be negative, like the protest, the very violent protests in France, they appear to be extremely violent. And I saw footage of a protester being brutally beaten up by French policemen. And it's tough, but everything is confusing. It's very confusing. And for people who have no idea what's going on, it's scary. People are afraid of wars. You can see in California, I mean, they burnt down. It's not only houses and cars. They were burnt inside. This is, so I wanted to share with the world the positive, to share with them also. People need to know about the dark agenda because it's going to be exposed, and I wanted to prepare them. And also to let them know that this is the darkest before dawn. We are not going into disasters, no more. We are going to a very good future for all of us.
Soshi, you talked about chemtrails. Would you mind explaining what those are?
Okay. People are, well, how to explain it? Usually, when you see on TV, mainstream media, they speak about contrails. But contrails don't leave anything behind. This is when airplanes, they travel and they don't leave anything behind. These are contrails. They disappear in a very short time that people don't even see them. But chemtrails, and you can check this. Please check everything that I'm telling you. You can check. There are patents on chemtrails. Right now, the company that has them is, please, my accent is not the best. It's Raytheon, one of the biggest companies of the military-industrial complex, Raytheon. And they have the patents for chemtrails. These chemtrails are produced in labs, and they contain, from what I know, aluminium, strontium. There are all sorts of heavy metals. They found also all sorts of microbes. And they even found, and this was very strange. I mean, it's all strange, but they also found 2 medications that are supposed to make people unresponsive. I don't know how to say this. I forgot the name of this sort of medications. It's like, anyway, Ted Gunderson, if you heard about him, he was the head of the FBI in Los Angeles. He was assassinated. Unfortunately, he was a very brave man and a patriot, and he was shouting from the top of his lungs against this crime against humanity. And according to his friend's testimony, he was poisoned. Ted Gunderson, the head of the FBI, and there are a lot of videos on YouTube where he speaks about this and other crimes, including things that for me are the worst against children. right now I really find it difficult to speak about. But and I know that does it answer your question about chemtrails?
Yes, it does. Thank you. So, tell us what your book is about. What is Mass Awakening about?
Oh, um, as I said, my book it exposes, on the one hand, the dark agenda that is inflicted on humanity for probably millennia. And what you can see at the moment is the forced vaccinations, chemtrails, what is called geoengineering. It's, for example, the smart meters, everything that you can possibly think that is against humanity, to make us sick. It's also, the war is also in the financial, from the financial aspect, because all the financial system is debt, what is called debt slavery system. All these debts that, all these loans that they don't have the money, it's not. And on the other hand, the book exposes also the amazing spirit, amazing unshackled spirit of humanity that is rising, the awakening of the masses that is totally concealed in the mainstream media. And this is the most exciting thing. We are right now in a historical moment, and people have no idea. People are awakening. They could see how the Italians were going out, even those who were in favor of vaccinations, they joined those who are against it, because we need to have free will. We need to decide on our bodies. And the Polish and the French now, that they say that it's against the tax on fuel, but it's not only this, it's against Macron, who is a puppet, like the one in your neighborhood, your north, Canada, Trudeau, Justin Trudeau. Yes, he's like Macron. But the Canadians, obviously, they are more quiet than the French. And in Israel, I show it, and it's all over. I mean, I have a good friend from Indonesia. And this battle is happening both on the physical plane and also spiritually. There are mass meditations. There were mass meditation, for example, to weaken the hurricanes, Irma hurricane, and with the earthquakes, because these are engineered. Do you know that these are engineered? That earthquake can be engineered? They are HAARP, HAARP. This is a technology. And you can see it all over the world. The most famous one is in Alaska, but I saw also in Brazil. And they were brave enough. I saw how they destroyed it. They dismantled it. And beyond this, we will be able to see that we are already a Star Trek society. with new economic and financial systems like Ubuntu. Have you heard about Ubuntu?
No.
Ubuntu movement from South Africa?
No.
It's spreading all over, and it's first they use currency and money, but they use it in order to get rid of it, to be free, and to bring prosperity to everyone in the society. Right now, it's implemented in small communities, like villages, small towns, one small town at a time, worldwide, in developing countries, in developed countries, and it's beautiful. Michael Tellinger, you can check this.
Shoshi, why do you think that your book is relevant today?
First of all, I think that people will want to make sense of all the madness that they see worldwide in the mainstream media. I think that people these days stop believing the mainstream media and they are looking for new sources of information. I investigated these topics for several years, and I think that people also want to have a real hope. And I'm showing them that there is real hope. And we are on our own saviors. We are saving ourselves. Isn't it wonderful?
Yes, yes. Shoshi, what do you want readers to take away from your writing?
Well, I want them to be discerning of information in general, because one of the facets of this war is information. There's a lot of disinformation and misinformation. Disinformation is intentional, spreading of lies and deceit and mind control and propaganda, while misinformation is what people sometimes do unintentionally, that they spread disinformation without knowing that it's not true. And the thing is that not only the MSM is propaganda, but 90% of the alternative media is also controlled. So what I want people to take from this is to be their own commentators and investigators, and to start investigating this with other people worldwide, as I did, because that's how I was able to connect the dots. I was taught. I had no idea. I told my friends, thank you for being so patient with me, because I asked so many questions. And I still ask, but today they listen to me too. Because today I already connect the dots, but it's a mastermind. We are working together to liberate Earth. And my message, the ending phrase or sentence of the book, and this, I want people to take this, is let's make Earth great again.
Let's make Earth great again. I like that. Shoshi, do you want to read a passage from the book for us?
Okay. I had a passage about Facebook, but I don't recall it word for word. But the general message is the government or the CIA or the intelligence agencies, they invented Facebook for surveillance, to know everything about us. But we turned on the tables on them because we use Facebook in order to spread the truth and awakening and to empower ourselves to liberate us.
Now tell us one more time where your book is available.
The book is available on Amazon.com by Mass Awakening Shoshi Hershko. And I think you have, if you have the link, I can provide the link, and you can find it on Amazon, and you can find it in many countries if you look for it. It's in many countries right now.
Let me spell your name for the audience, for the listeners, so that they know what they are looking for when they go to look for the book. It is Shoshi, Shoshi, Hershku, Herscu, Shoshi Hershku, and the book again is Mass Awakening. Thank you very much, Shoshi, for being my guest today. Again, I want to remind listeners that the program is brought to you by Crimson Cloak Publishing, and that is on the web at www.crimsoncloakpublishing.com, and that they are featuring many Christmas-themed books in this season. Don't forget to tune in next week, and don't forget to pass a smile along.
And thank you, Cynthia. Thank you very much for having me here.
You're welcome, Shoshi. And we'll see you all next week, same time.
You have been listening to In the Spotlight with your host, Cynthia McGregor, brought to you by Crimson Cloak Publishing. For a wide variety of books for both adults and children in print, ebook, and audio formats, join us every Tuesday at the same time as In the Spotlight brings you interesting guests to entertain and enlighten you. I'm Carly McCracken. On behalf of Crimson Cloak Publishing, thank you for joining us, and we hope you'll join us again next week.